Here we go. Hi everybody, I'm Justin for SALMAGUNDI doing our little hat information videos and teaching more about hats and fitting and all the magical world of hats. Today we're talking about hat reducer. And why do you need hat reducer? Sometimes you get a hat and the hat just doesn't quite fit you right. It's rocking too much, or it's a little too big, and people say, what can I do? You go a size down, it's too small. You go a size up, it's too large. This is where the magical world of hat reducer begins. Hat reducer looks like weather stripping, but it is not weather stripping. Weather stripping isn't as squishy as hat reducer. Hat reducer is meant to keep its bounce, so it can keep you snug. So when you're buying a hat, you want to get as close to your size as possible. And then hat reducer is just meant to fine-tune that fit. It's not meant to, shrink it down 2 sizes. It's just meant to fine-tune the fit. So let's say the hat is rocking two side to side here. Now when it was rocking side to side, I had too much space. I had too much space on each side. But my head is long, like a station wagon, so I don't want to put hat reducer in the back. I just want to put a little bit on the sides, because rather than my head being round, it's longer. So now I'm making up for that right there. So when I put it on now, ooh, it's almost too snug. It's nice and snug. I would probably use a little less, but it's no more rocking. I could ride a windy boat and I could be okay. Hat reducer. Let's say your hat was round like a bowling ball. Not to put anybody out there with a round bowling ball head, because we all have different heads. And it was just a little bit too big. Maybe you're just going to put a little bit in the back right here. Just a little bit in the back right there. So this is kind of giving you a little more pressure from front to back, so I can feel it on my forehead. Now for the most part, I don't usually put hat reducer on the front. But let's say it's like a one size hat, and we have no other option but to make it a little smaller by reducing it all the way around. You would just have the strip go all the way around, but the one important thing with hat reducer is you'll notice that there's a little white piece on the back here. This is a little sticky underneath. So when you're applying the hat reducer, I'm just going to apply it just for a second here. You're going to stick it to the hat. Not all the way where the sweatband meets the hat right here. Just a little bit up, because you want to have the sweatband have enough to fold over. So see how it folds over, and it's not like right there making a budge. But if I just put it right here, let's just fix that tag. If I just put it right here, now it's not going anywhere. It's in there for good, and I'm always fitting. That, let's say your head grows, or you get some real long hair, you can just take it out. And then you got the sticky still. But you never want to stick, some people will stick the sticky to the sweatband. You never want to do this. Don't stick it to the sweatband, because it makes it wrinkly. It's no good. That's no good. Let's say every day when I walk to work, on a really windy street, I don't want to lose my hat. But you also don't want your hat so tight that you have a big red line. No red lines. So this is a trick. Instead of using it full piece, you're going to cut it in half like this and use just a little bit. Now, when you put it in before you stick it, you're always going to put the white part to the hat, just like when it sticks to the hat, because then otherwise you're going to have this funny hard thing in between the sweatband and the hat, and you don't want that. So now I have just 2 little pieces. Now the little pieces are giving it that little rim they're creating. Is like holding it, but not making it too small. It's holding it from popping up. This is the kind of thing that you just have to, whenever you buy a hat, from us anyway, when you buy a hat online from us, we send you enough hat reducer for you to cut it up and play with it. Because even when I've made hats for myself, and that was my goal when I made the hat, sometimes you still make a boo-boo and it doesn't fit you quite perfect. But yeah, that's on the forehead. That feels kind of nice. It gives you a little padding. Usually I don't do it on the forehead, but that feels kind of nice. So you always want to play around with your hat reducer first before you stick it in. And last note is when you're playing around with the hat reducer and you cut it up and you get it perfect, when you stick it in, it's going to make it a little bit tighter than when it wasn't stuck in. You can't just throw it in there. You have to tactfully try it out. Put a little bit here, a little bit there to make it right. To make it perfect for you.